It is December, which means we're going to be inundated with Christmas crap for the next few weeks, but we found an awesome way to get around that for this week's Things You Didn't Know. See, Die Hard is technically a Christmas movie. So Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers, we're doing it. It's Tucci-Palooza time. Yeah, just kidding. Here are 7 things you didn't know about Die Hard. Probably. Did you know that Die Hard is actually an adaptation? Or that it's actually an adaptation of a sequel? It's based on a novel by Roderick Thorpe called Nothing Lasts Forever, which was a follow-up to his earlier novel, The Detective. The Detective was also adapted into a film, but back in the 60s. It starred Frank Sinatra. So even though they changed the main character's name from Joe Leland to John McClane for Die Hard, Bruce Willis and Frank Sinatra technically played the same guy. Additional fun fact, Sinatra and Willis crossed paths on film very early in Bruce Willis's career. Bruce Willis is an uncredited extra in The First Deadly Sin, a movie from 1980 starring Frank Sinatra. So it's kind of like 2 John McClanes in one movie, with neither of them actually playing the role in that particular movie. Still, it's pretty cool. John McClane is barefoot for pretty much all of Die Hard. Even when he has a chance to steal some shoes from one of the terrorists that he's taken out, the shoes are too small.
9 million terrorists in the world, and I gotta kill one with feet smaller than my sister.
If we learn nothing else from this movie, it's that terrorists have tiny, dainty lady feet. What you probably don't know is that the too small shoes thing is a noteworthy change from what happens in the book. Originally, the character doesn't remain barefoot because the terrorist's shoes don't fit, but because he can't stand the thought of wearing a dead man's shoes. It's really more of a manners thing than a sizing problem. Okay, one more thing about John McClane's feet, and then I promise we'll move on. You guys remember this part where he's pulling the glass out of his foot? As hard to watch as it is already, it could have been even worse. Originally, there was a sound effect for when John pulls the glass out. The producers insisted the filmmakers get rid of it, though, because it was just too gruesome. Let's give it a try and see, huh? Yeah, that's definitely grosser. Well, I guess the next time you watch this scene and find yourself cringing a little extra, just think of me, your merry narrator. Next thing. I think we've talked enough about shards of glass and Bruce Willis's bloody feet, so let's talk about how much glass they went through during production as a whole. Throughout the film, they use several different types of glass. Breakaway glass, single-strength glass, safety glass, because they all break and fall differently. In this shootout, for example, they contracted a glass company to create a special glass that was over-tempered, which means it was baked longer than usual to make it harder, just to get the effect they wanted for the scene. Ultimately, Die Hard production spent about $130,000 on glass alone, which is a pretty big budget just for glass, especially in 80s money. The Nakatomi Building is where all the action takes place in Die Hard, but what you may not know is the building is actually the Fox Plaza, a Los Angeles landmark in Century City. At the time of filming, the building was really under construction, so they used the unoccupied 33rd and 34th floors. Here, they added those metal studs to make it more dramatic, but the vacant floors were pretty much perfect for what they needed, as they already were. For the 30th floor, where the party is taking place, they had to use stage 15 on the Fox lot because the set was too large to construct inside of the real tower. Here's the best part, though. Fox actually charged itself a location rental fee for the shoot. Even though Die Hard was a Fox project, production had to pay the going rate to rent the floors. Fox didn't even hook themselves up with a discount.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Die Hard was a breakout role for Bruce Willis, cementing him as an action star with the likes of Arnold and Stallone. But you may not have known that Bruce Willis only got the role of John McClane after both Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone had turned it down. You know who else turned it down? Richard Gere. And Burt Reynolds, too. Honestly, if Burt Reynolds had gotten the part, I have a feeling Die Hard would have turned out more like Live Free or Die Hard or A Good Day to Die Hard. I'm saying it would have been Die Hard, but like really shitty. That's what I'm driving at. Moving on. Now, out of the goodness of my heart, I'm going to give you a spoiler warning for this last thing, but seriously, you should have seen Die Hard by now. It came out 26 years ago. Anyway, on this shot at the end, when Hans falls from the ledge, the reaction is pretty priceless, right? Well, it's priceless not just because Alan Rickman is a great actor, which he is, it's because that is genuine shock and terror on his face. Rickman agreed to do the fall for real from 25 feet high onto an airbag. Well, before the fall, they told him they'd count down 3, 2, 1, go, and then would release him on go. Alan Rickman agreed and then prepared himself mentally for the stunt. But on the first take, instead of releasing him on go like they said they'd do, they released him a bit early on 1. And that is how you get Alan Rickman to make this face. Alright guys, that's it. For this episode, we kept it clean and uncomplicated, unlike my relationship with my family. But if you guys want a part 2 where we also get into things about Die Hard 2 or 3, hit the thumbs up. There's no way we're talking about Die Hard 4 or 5 though, so don't ask. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out Cinefix.com and subscribe for more true-ish things about movies and sometimes my strained relationship with my family right here on Things You Didn't Know.